Hi, this is Lainey with KozyMagic, and today we're going to talk about divination and how in KozyMagic, I've always marched to the beat of my own drummer and did things my way. I received a set of talking stones for my 3rd degree elevation, and I love them and don't want to alter them because they're so special to me. But at the same time, I've been reading them since I started reading them with the backs, because in the original instructions you're supposed to take out the ones that land upside down and not count and not even read them, but I found that they have significance if they're upside down. There's meaning to that, or at least the stones talk to me and tell me that. So I decided to make my own set with backs, and these are clay, but inside the clay is also herbs and crystals that I felt enhanced the magic of each stone. And so this is what the stones look like. This is the eye, and it's not finished. I'm going to be painting these and probably sanding them some more and stuff. But this represents self. And on the back is a closed eye, because I find that a lot of times if the one stone representing self is upside down, it says a lot. Then this one is the Jupiter stone, which talks about leadership, fortune, luck, that type of thing. And so on the back, I just put a minus sign because, that's pretty negative if you don't have those things. And then this one is the scales of justice, also representing balance. And for the back, I just put another symbol meaning balance. It's kind of like a yin-yang, and so I might make it look a little bit more like one before I paint it. But I kind of figure that this, along with a lot of the other stones, they're kind of like a double-edged sword. So the meaning can be negative or positive depending on what's close. This obviously is a message, and this is the I don't want to see or talk about. So that's like a lack of communication for the reverse side. And then the same thing, this is home, and on the reverse side is just a different depiction of a home, because it's the same thing that, depending on what's going on around it or what's going on in the home, it can be the negative or the positive. So I didn't, there's not like there's an opposite for that. This is Venus. She's all about love and family, beauty, art. And so on the back of hers, I just put a heart because, it's the same thing depending on what's near it and where it is. It can mean that same type of thing. Here we have a crossroads, which is usually a big decision of some sort. And so for the opposite side, I put it looks like a plus sign, but it's kind of also a crossroads, but there's like a circle in the middle, which I might stick a stone in there to make it obvious. But that's kind of like saying that you're just sitting there not making a decision, you're stagnant. Here's a moon, and that's of course intuition, travel, motherhood, that kind of stuff. And so I put a different moon on the back, and there'll be different colors, of course. And so I can tell what's the back and what's the front. And then this is Mars, which means strife or struggle. And so for the opposite of that one on the back, I put a jail cell, because if you don't struggle and fight when there's a bad situation and try to overcome it, then basically you're just putting yourself in jail. Kind of like the Hanged Man card in tarot. And this is the sun. And of course, I put all kinds of goldeny stuff inside. So the back, it's going to be black. That's actually just going to be the absence of light. But of course, the herbs in there. So, but this is Saturn, which is change, restriction, misfortune. But the Greek god, corresponding that is Kronos. So I put an hourglass. I know it's not a very good one, but I put an hourglass on the back, and I figure that will, help me decide on that. And this is a door, which is kind of like the death card. You know, one door closes, another door opens kind of thing. And then on the back, I just put like a 0 or a naught sign because, you know, if you're not going through these changes and walking through that next door, you know, you might as well give up. Then this is Mercury, which is, of course, communication, education, movement. And on the back of that, I just put an X because, you know, it's kind of like what I said before. If you're not moving forward, and then you have problems. And so here I'm just kind of doing a sample reading. And so I just, you know, dumped them into this flat basket. And the one that fell out, now that one I won't read because, you know, obviously it didn't feel like it was needed for this reading. And so here we have the door with Venus, and then we have strife over there with a lack of communication and the sun. And so I kind of read that to mean that, you know, there's obstacles on my way to success. And over here, my changes need to be either my family and home life or even with my art. And so, you know, I guess I'll have to wait and see how that plays out. And then on this one, see, because those other things are farther away. The I myself is right here surrounded by these things, which, you know, we have communication from Mercury there, the home, oh yeah, and news, and then balance over there. And I kind of think that's meaning I'm trying to balance everything. And the news is upside down and a little far away because we are waiting to hear back on from Social Security. I have a disabled spouse, and so, you know, the extra income will be nice once it finally gets in. We have a lawyer, we haven't heard nothing, and so it's pretty awful. And so, but that's how I do a reading. And you know, maybe I'll do another one after I finish them so you can see what they come out like.